Hello and welcome to the first of 4 sessions of CalmPod, Compassionate Approach to Living Mindfully. These sessions are part of our weight management programme at University Hospital, Coventry and Warwickshire. We hope it will give you an insight into the ideas and concepts of how we view managing health and weight for the long term in a healthy way. My name is Alice. I'm a specialist weight management dietitian. You may find it helpful to find a quiet spot and have a pen and paper to hand to make notes. Feel free to pause the video and take notes as you go along. The aim of this first group is to empower you. Empower you to make changes, lifelong sustainable changes to improve your health. We also want to enable you to see the challenges you may face and highlight the power that you have to work through them. So my first question is, imagine a healthier future. How does it look and how does it feel to you? Ask yourself, what motivates you to change? What does a healthier version of you look like and feel like? Would you sleep better? Would you have more energy to do things? Would you feel more confident? These are just examples, but ask yourself, why do you need to change? How would it improve your quality of life? And what do you need to do to make those changes possible and, more importantly, sustainable? If you always do what you always did, you will always get what you always got. Famous quote from Albert Einstein. We are all guilty of repeating past failures that continue to jeopardise our success. So try and put behind you what has been unhelpful to you in terms of making healthier changes, and look forward, try something different, and if it fails, let it go and just do something different. This way, we begin to connect with our bodies and discover over time what works and what doesn't work for us. So, next slide is the diet trap. So who has been here before? This demonstrates the uselessness of being caught up in a diet trap. Too often we become entrapped in this vicious cycle with the intention of trying to be healthier, only to create feelings of disappointment and a sense of failure. So take time to evaluate this and think about the times that you too got caught up in the cycle of behaviour. From the point of restriction, how did it feel? Did you know it wouldn't end well because you've been here before? Again, repeating past failure. It's a hard habit to break once you're in the cycle. Therefore, it is worthy of time and self-compassion to be able to say, I don't have to achieve health through deprivation. We as a team are here to support you and help you work through this. So, let's talk more about the diet trap. We want you to think about letting go and avoiding the extremes and the details. Let go of dieting and an all or nothing approach. Don't get caught up in the details. It's the overall change to your health that matters. One unhealthy meal or choice won't break you, and one healthy meal or choice won't make you. It's all the decisions that you make over time added up that create healthy habits, and in response, a healthy body. Keep track of healthy choices, not perfect days. So what we're basically trying to say is to be kinder to yourself. Show some self-compassion. We want you focusing on your health, not the numbers on a scale. When we focus on the broader aspects of self-care, our bodies are more likely to become healthier long term. So the feeling of sleep deprivation, stress, being low in energy, having a chaotic eating pattern will all influence the unhelpful choices that we make, which moves us on to the importance of addressing the pillars of health. When we address all the important pillars of health in partnership with having regular healthy meals, weight loss is an anticipated side effect. If any of the pillars are weak, then the goals are harder to achieve. However, if you even just tackle one pillar, for example, sleeping better, this is likely to leave you feeling less stressed, having a better mood, better decision-making choices, wanting to feed our body nutritious meals, and creating more energy to move. All of this added up increases the chance of achieving weight loss in the long term. If all the pillars are strong, this is a good basis of becoming a healthier version of yourself. You don't have to work on all of them at the same time. Just working on one at a time would be beneficial, as they will have a positive ripple effect on the other pillars occurring too. But don't despair. If you're struggling with one pillar, move on to the other, which may be easier to deal with. Take a minute or two to write down the pillars of good health and think about the changes you could make based upon this. So by now I hope you've thought about the few changes that you could make. Now it's time to think about sustaining these changes. How can you make these sustainable and not just a fad? What could get in the way of making these changes? Begin to acknowledge sabotage, for example, peer pressure, people buying you treats to be kind. It is important to feel empowered and to be able to say no confidently. So let's take a further look into the barriers you may face. There are always obstacles, so start to think about how you can work through them. As you can see, we have made a few examples of what is and what isn't in your power to control. What we cannot change: unhealthier foods everywhere we go. What we can change is, do we need this? Have healthier choices at home. Other examples are food preparation, preparing food at home, for example. We cannot change a stressful environment, but how can we respond to it? We cannot change problems in mobility, but we can find our capabilities. We can stand up every 30 minutes, for example, just for a few minutes at a time. Reducing their sedentary behaviour, increasing upper body exercise if you have poor lower mobility, for example. Even a subtle change matters greatly. If we can't overcome it, we need to look at other obstacles and tackle those instead. Work on what you can change rather than what you cannot change. So, following on from this, as my last slide, I hope you're feeling more empowered to be able to make changes in your life to become healthier. It is important to keep your expectations low. The changes need to be small and achievable, and even more importantly, sustainable. Do not fall into the trap of setting high goals, high expectations, and a high failure rate. So for example, set yourself the limit of having a walk for 5 minutes 3 times a week, going to bed early 3 times a week, even drinking more water. By setting that bar really low on the goals, when you do achieve them, you will feel a sense of achievement and you can raise the bar slightly higher. So I cannot stress this enough. Start low to increase your chance of success. From success comes a sense of achievement. Sense of achievement increases your confidence. Increased confidence increases your empowerment. So my final slide. Just take a minute to think about this quote again. If you always did what you always did, you will always get what you always got. Think about how that quote can relate to all of us in many aspects of our life. Thank you for listening. I hope you found this session useful and that it's given you some prompts to enable you and to empower you to achieve a healthier lifestyle. Thank you.